Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water. Herpes. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo.
And welcome back to Crypts and Corks, spooky friends. I'm DJ, your host, here with my co-host,
Paul, as usual. And today we have two other very special guests today. Today we are joined by the spooky guys themselves, the owner and founder and managing director of Haunt Seekers LLC, Matthew Tucker and Kris Grady.
Ow, ow, ow.
Welcome to the pod, guys. How are you guys today?
We're doing great.
Pretty good.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
We're so excited to have another pair of spooky boys on the podcast because I listen to a lot of paranormal podcasts and it's either single men or groups of women, so the fact that there's 4 of us together is just awesome.
It is.
Right.
It really is.
Yep.
An even number. I love even numbers. But why don't you tell us about Haunt Seekers LLC? Give us a little rundown of what y'all do.
So Haunt Seekers originated out of Tennessee back in 2017. Me and my dad, we had an idea to do like a, it was more like a paranormal thing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really start off as haunted attraction reviews.
Okay.
But the deeper we got into it, we talked about it. I was like, Haunt Seekers should be about everything haunted. It all started off in 2017. Me and my dad had the idea, and I kind of put it on the back burner for 2 years. 2019 is really when it blew up because I put out like an email about it on Haunters Hangout. And next thing I know, 50 haunted house owners are contacting me, asking me how they become a part of it. I'm like, wow.
Right.
And it kept going and going from there. It just kept going. My office started out in my bedroom, and it just kept going. T-shirts came in, hats, hoodies.
Right. You do it all.
I have business cards made for it. People look up to me as a role model in the industry.
Right. That's so cool. You put in so much work into your business and it's paying off for you. And then, so Kris, when did you get involved with Haunt Seekers?
Somewhere around between February and March. Basically signed my life away
Right.
to the company. But
well, there's worse things you could sign your life away for.
yeah, no, it's great. Matt and I have known each other, of course, on social media for about four years, but never really got a chance to meet up. So finally, he came to Pittsburgh, and it was just kind of like, it was.
The rest is history.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now you guys travel all over doing spooky stuff.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Exhausting, but it's a lot of fun.
All the best things are exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
And
Ain't that the truth?
on top of going to haunted attractions, you also do paranormal investigations, isn't that right?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect. So we don't have to ask you if you believe. Obviously, you do.
Oh, yeah. I definitely do.
What are some of your best investigation experiences or just paranormal experiences in general?
Mine would have to be, many people don't know this, but whoever follows Haunt Seekers knows that we used to do a paranormal tour in Tennessee. That's where our headquarters was located at for about 3 years. Sherman Distillery is a very haunted property in the back hills of Woodbury, Tennessee. And it is supposed to be haunted by a guy who took an axe and killed his family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Spooky.
And the story, I don't really know it off the top of my head anymore because it's been about 3 years, but I can email that to you guys. Maybe you can let your fans see it.
Yeah, for sure.
But in my time out there, I have came across a lot of haunted stuff on the property. One of which I was in my office one night, and I had like a flat screen TV like in the wall that I used to watch horror movies on.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there by myself, I dozed off. I woke up at 3 o'clock, which is the witching hour. And that's when they like to come out and play, right?
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
But I woke up and it was a knock on my door. Nobody was on the property. I was the only one there. I was by myself with the gate locked. I'm like, nobody's here, so I don't know who's here.
No, man.
And I have security cameras, installed around the office. I was like, do I need to look at this camera to see who's on the front porch? I'm like, no, I don't think I will.
Oh, jeez, that's spooky.
Yeah. No.
Then it kept doing it. I was like, oh my God. It's like, so I called my business partner, like, Matthew, you got to call me right now, man. Somebody's here right now. I was like, somebody's going to get me.
Oh, no.
Me being there by myself, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, And I called my dad, and he's like, just lock the office, set the security alarms and, things like that. But nobody was there. It was an entity that was there. It was an entity. But here's the thing. I was sitting in my office chair, and a color rush of air came in and hit me in the face after the knocking happened.
Oh, jeez. That's so spooky. I would love to visit there.
I'm sitting there like, okay, you got this, Matthew. You've been here for, 2 years now. Ain't nothing going to hurt you.
Right.
And then my business partner, which is no longer with us, he passed away back in April.
Oh, so
Rest in
sorry.
peace.
Thank you. His first time on the property in the office that we renovated, something pushed him out of the office with his camera.
Oh, no.
Because I took you see that as he was picking up his drawers, because he was a big guy. He fell on the ground and like his crap was showing.
Oh,
Obviously, he's like, what are you doing?
oh my
So
God.
Tucker something pushed me down. I'm like, get up out the ground.
Jeez. That's some real like Ghost Adventure shit.
Well, get this. So the property that we was on had a restaurant. It was called O Steel. So they had hamburgers, steaks, chicken. One night I was on my way back down to the office from meeting that night. I kid you not. There was a woman with a dress walking across the parking lot in the moonlight with her head gone.
Oh my God.
And the story goes that Elizabeth Patterson had her head chopped off by an axe. I was like, that's Elizabeth Patterson. That's her.
That's
Oh,
great. You actually
Jesus.
saw her.
Yes.
So cool.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
I want to show you guys some pictures after this podcast. You're
Yeah,
gonna be spooked.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, before we get into the line, have you guys always had like a passion for the paranormal?
Yes.
I have, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Since you were kids watching horror movies and such?
Well, I used to watch the paranormal, like the Ghost Hunters International growing up, and I just always been so fascinated by it. And every time I watch it, I feel like something's watching me.
Right.
I just always want to get into it. And I remember one time I downloaded the, you ever heard of the Ghost Legacy app?
Yes.
I don't think it's on the Apple Store anymore, but I downloaded it one time and I was talking to whatever this thing was. And apparently I was antagonizing it, so it got mad at me. So whatever it was, it growled at me. It was like, I was like, okay, I'm deleting that app.
Right. You gotta get out of there. It's time to leave. It's time to go home.
I never forget that. I never forget that.
Oh my gosh. That's how I started though. Getting into paranormal too. Watching Ghost Adventures growing up. Zach
Yeah.
Baggins. Love Zach. Well, Zach's cool. I know he's a little problematic, but he's
Yeah.
cool.
It's
Awesome.
fine. Problematic is fine. We're problematic. We drink for our
We are too. We're the same.
Yep.
We get into trouble.
Right. Our brand is trash, and that's just what we're doing.
We love it. We love it.
Well, y'all, let's drink. We have a Pinot Noir from 19 Crimes called The Punishment.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's from Eastern Australia, vintage 2021. 19 Crimes turned convicts into colonists. Upon conviction, British rogues guilty of those crimes were sentenced to Australia rather than death. This punishment by transportation began in 1788, and many of the lawless died at sea. The rough-hewn pioneers who reached Australia lived in servitude under the lash. Pioneers in a frontier penal colony, they forged new country and new lives brick by brick. This 2021, Pinot Noir celebrates the rules they broke and the culture they built. Download our Living Wine Labels AR app.
Very nice. Exciting.
Nice.
That
Go ahead to try it.
That was a pretty good pop.
was a pretty okay pop. All right, let's get that ASMR board. I was not expecting it to be a red wine. What, is Pinot Noir like a red
Always
wine?
a red wine, yes.
I don't know. I didn't go to school for that.
We're gonna have to go to wine. I mean, considering it's kind of our job, we're gonna have to
Go to sommelier school, learn
not
how
school
wine.
classes at a community college.
Jeez, as much wine as I've drank, you'd think I'd be an expert at this point, but we only drink a
Francia counts.
I'd be more of a bourbon whiskey type of guy, being from Tennessee.
Ah, okay. Tennessee whiskey. I
Oh, yeah.
got you. Do you have a favorite whiskey brand?
Oh man, there's so many of them. There was one on the one at Shore Mountain Distillery I used to drink all the time. I think it was like apple cider. I think
Oh.
it was really good. No, I'll tell you, it was rye. Rye whiskey. That's what
Okay.
it was.
Okay.
That was my favorite drink there.
Well,
All right.
let's
Well,
see.
Crypts and Corks and Haunt Seekers.
Yeah.
Haunt Seekers and Crypts and Corks collab.
Glad to be here. That's good.
That is very
Ooh,
nice.
Wow.
Okay.
I like that.
I was
too
afraid
dry.
it was going to be too
yeah,
dry.
not it. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, just
not too
sweet
sweet,
enough.
not too sweet, not too dry.
All right. What do you?
It's actually
What would you drink that with? Do you think? What do you guys would pair that with?
spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, that would be-
yes.
Probably have to say spaghetti. Yeah.
I agree.
Spaghetti.
I agree. And just before we get into the story, real quick, for the followers, we will get back into Charlie Puth next week. I know you guys are
Jesus.
excited for your Charlie Puth fact, but we'll get back into Charlie Puth next week. I do a hot guy of the month, and this hot guy of the month is Charlie Puth. So I usually talk about that during the episode. So,
Yeah.
But we'll get into that next week. We have an interesting story today that
We
DJ
do.
is going to get
So
into.
guys,
Okay.
Nice.
let me tell you a story. A haunted house is meant to be a fun, chilling experience. You go through, enjoying the illusion of danger, getting frightened, and then go home having had fun. But what if you went to a haunted house where it wasn't an illusion? Where the danger wasn't simulated, but was all too real? And after you're subjected to torture unimaginable to the average person, you're unable to do anything due to a legally binding 40-page waiver. Today we're going to discuss McKamey Manor.
Yes. So,
All right.
do you guys know a little bit about McKamey Manor?
Oh, yeah, we know something about
it
it.
all too well. All too well.
I figured you guys would. I picked this when I heard you could do this. I was like, okay, it's time. We're
This
doing
is
it.
the topic for you guys. You guys are haunted house experts, so I'm very curious.
I will tell you, he's not very frowned upon in the industry.
Right. I kind of figured, wasn't
Yeah.
there like a Facebook page like trying to get it like disbanded?
They
They
actually
just-
was
they did.
they actually was successful this
They
time.
shut him
Took it
down completely.
Oh, awesome.
Oh.
Did you guys like help any with that?
I signed a petition.
Very
Nice.
And I actually did not see anywhere. Not to jump ahead, but the last thing that I saw was that the Tennessee Attorney General was filing, or not filing charges, but was investigating him, like
Yeah.
opening a criminal investigation.
Yep. Well, they all also everybody, of course, signing waivers, but it was like a 60 to 70 page waiver.
Oh yeah, I got that in here.
And plus, no one's ever won the money before. No one knows if he actually has 20
No one
grand to
has.
give away to
has
I highly doubt that he does.
I don't think anybody's gonna give someone
he's
20
just
grand.
he makes it so difficult, and of course, for people to just back out of it, and he
Yeah.
likes the
He
torture of it.
We see him at the conventions a lot when we go to Trans World and stuff. Actually, last year for Expo, he came by our table and told us to go check his page out. I was like, huh? So, yeah. It's like, get away from my booth.
So you guys have met him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Briefly, yeah.
Briefly met him, but I'm not a fan of him. I mean, I'm not.
Right.
It's a torture chamber. It's not a haunted attraction.
He just
that?
in person,
He honestly makes our industry look terrible to our customers.
he just smells creep.
Right.
It just yeah.
Well, I've got quite a lot of shit that just adds to what you said. And please jump in with your own comments or experiences at any point here. It is billed mostly by Russ McKamey, the owner and founder of McKamey Manor, as the most extreme haunted house in the world. But as you said, there is some debate as to whether it is a haunted attraction or not.
It is not.
It is not. Definitely
Here
not.
it
It is not.
It is a survival horse style immersive attraction run by Russ McKamey, who is a former Navy contractor who currently works as a wedding DJ and singer and purportedly works at a local Walmart.
That's
Which
I
would
did not
explain the
know that,
waterboarding
yeah.
and all the military stuff that he does
Yep.
to people in the hot.
right.
Because he hangs people up, he shuts boiled eggs in their mouth.
There it is. That word.
That's crazy.
Originally, he began the attraction in his own backyard in San Diego around 2000-2001, but it soon grew so intense that his neighbors would regularly call the police on him.
They banned him from the state of California. They banned him.
Really?
Yeah.
He came to Tennessee.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he actually, before going to Tennessee, he attempted to move the attraction to Illinois, but public outcry there was so intense he could not follow through. In 2017, he finally moved his haunt to two locations, one in Summersville, Tennessee, and one in Huntsville, Alabama. He runs the attraction year-round.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Katie Civilis is a business he was working with on that. And I actually had the opportunity to talk to them back when they was doing it. And they wanted me to come down. I was like, I'm not doing it. So you guys are out of your mind.
Wait, so they wanted you to go through the hunt yourself?
Yeah, they wanted me to come in. I was like, I'm not doing it.
No.
I remember the guy, his name is Kris, but I don't know his last name. I forgot his last name. It's been a while. But it's Kris with a C instead of a K.
Okay.
He was so creepy. Like, I was like, no.
Okay, but real quick, Loki, wouldn't it be hilarious if you walked into Walmart and he was just there greeting?
So I watched the documentary.
He's a Walmart guy.
I watched the documentary on Hulu, and one of the clips they had was of a girl. She's like TikToking or live streaming, and she's like, "This is the Walmart where Russ McKamey works, and he works in the garden center. I'm gonna go in there." And she like bought a chocolate bar off of him, and she walked in. She's like, "I thought I was gonna confront him, but like he's just like a clerk."
Right? Like, what are you gonna do? Scream at him in the middle of the Walmart? Like,
Who knows?
I would also walk up to us like, dude, you made this industry look terrible, bro.
right?
Do yourself a favor and get the hell out.
I would, if I was a,
I know. Any of the haunted house people on our page is not going to care about us talking shit about him because somebody likes them.
Right.
well, they
We don't
got
like
people
them.
to shut them down. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, no one,
Finally.
especially in our industry, no.
Right.
I'm glad you guys picked this topic because I love it.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
I'm like-
interesting.
Like
I'm
I
liking
said,
it too.
I picked this on purpose when I heard you two were coming on this week.
Yeah.
There is supposedly a 24,000 person wait list. I say supposedly because the only person bragging about that is Russ. And I listened to one podcast where the host actually like reached out to him. And within 5 minutes he replied to her and he was like, "Awesome, I want to hear more about you. Please send me this, this, and that." So,
So sincerely doubt there's a 20,000 waiting list.
Yeah.
sincerely.
That's awfully big.
Right.
People.
And probably one of the other facts that is most well known about it is there's no traditional entrance fee. All he asks for is either a 50-pound bag of kibble or 2 cases of wet dog food, which he then donates. There is a $100 deposit to save your place, but if you show up, you get the $100 back.
And then you get tortured horribly.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe, hopefully you won't die.
No one's died yet that we know of.
Those videos I've seen of him taking saws, people say that's
It's just traumatized, like the traumatized.
I would be terrorized.
That's where he could probably be charged with the death.
I would sue him just for like, the stuff he's doing because, I would be traumatized for the rest of my life.
Well, traumatized, anxiety.
And I've heard that he's
su-
sexually assaulted a few
suicidal, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
We're definitely
time
going to
doing
get
it.
into that a little later on. So, to even get into the attraction, there is a strict list of requirements. You must be 21 plus or 18 to 20 with parental consent. You have to complete a sports physical and get a signed doctor's letter saying you're physically and mentally fit. Can you imagine?
I would not pass.
Could you imagine telling your doctor, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, look at this video. I'm going to do this. Will you sign off on it?"
It's 20 grand.
It's like, hell to the road.
Like, right then and there. if I was a
3-4
doctor.
hours
No.
of yeah.
You have to pass a background check. You are then screened via FaceTime or a phone call with Russ himself. You have to provide proof of medical and accidental death insurance.
Oh my gosh.
You have to pass a drug test the day of your tour. And you have to sign an extremely detailed 40-page release waiver. It is said that guests are required to read the entire waiver out loud on video recording prior to signing, which can take up to 6 hours.
I've seen the video.
Wow.
I've seen them like sit around
a lot.
and have that big stack
Yeah.
and read it.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't even have the patience to sit down and sign that.
No.
Oh, right.
Just let me in.
I was listening to one podcast and this girl was like, I read it. She's like, I found it online. It's really standard. Most people just don't read waivers. I have quite a bit of it here that I'm going to read to you all. It's not your standard release form. Most standard releases are you release them from any injury or death that may be caused. I mean, that's standard in any haunted attraction, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But most haunted attractions don't ask you to sign away and release them from responsibility for bumps, bruises, cuts, and other injuries, including broken bones. They also warn you that you will be driven in a van without a seatbelt or any other safety device.
Okay, that's just a Saturday night. Okay.
You may be subjected to waterboarding.
You should have seen what happened to us. The investigation, we'll get into that later.
MK Ultra mind control techniques. Drugging.
What the fuck?
Ripping nails out of cuticle beds.
Oh, that makes me just want to cringe so
Yeah.
bad.
It's okay.
I'm good.
The involuntary getting of tattoos. Involuntary shaving of head.
I would cry.
Yeah, I would.
Will force people to eat live bugs.
Yeah.
If you vomit, they will force you to eat it.
See, no. That's where I go.
Nah,
No.
no.
They will tase you or shock you with shock sticks. Shoot you with paintballs. That's the highlight reel. And then these next ones are just so insane that I have to read them word for word.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Let's hear him.
Participant understands and agrees that they are not being beat up, kicked, slugged, or actually physically harmed. You will be roughed up, but no one is there to hurt you. Knowing that, McKamey Manor is very rough and not for the meek. Participant will have bumps, bruises, possible black eye, swelling of the face, etc.
So, like, they say they're not going to.
We're not actually hurting you, but you may get hurt.
Right, like, what the fuck does that even... That's crazy. The contradiction is wild.
Participant agrees that if selected, they could be buried alive under 12 feet of dirt and rock to which they will have a limited amount of air, and that they will have to figure out how to escape, and that they could possibly breathe in a significant amount of dust, dirt, or foreign objects that may cause death if participant does not breathe properly or hold their breath at the right time.
That's crazy.
I couldn't do it.
No,
Couldn't do it.
I don't want to be buried alive. I mean, like...
Have you ever seen The House is October Built?
Yes.
Yes.
You know when they got buried at the end of that?
Yeah.
Oh, it gave me so much anxiety looking at
No,
that.
that's one of my worst fears.
Yeah.
It's being buried alive, yeah.
That's terrible.
Or even like, I think it's in Venice, they have that bridge where you can go under in a boat, but you have to like lay on the floor.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And I was watching one video and the boat actually got stuck under there, and there was only like, you had like 2 to 3 feet between the bottom of the boat and like the bottom of the bridge. And I was like, oh my god, no.
That'd be terrible.
Participant agrees to partake if selected to participate in a height stunt that involves walking a plank 25 feet above ground without a safety net. Participant agrees that if selected, they will come in contact with a variety of live poisonous animals. If the participant, it is the participant's responsibility not to panic or agitate the animals. If participant is bitten, it is because the participant made a sudden movement within a confined, secured environment. Participant acknowledges and agrees to be submerged in 60 feet of open water. Participant acknowledges and agrees that their breathing apparatus will be removed and that it is the participant's responsibility to make their way to the surface on their own. If done incorrectly, there is a real chance of participant drowning or receiving decompression sickness, the bends, which could cause permanent injury or even death.
See, that's crazy. But also, so poisonous is like when you touch it, you get poisoned, but venomous is when you get bit and you get poisoned.
Yes, but I don't think they're really making that distinction here.
Right?
No.
Where's the professionality?
Oh,
It's not there.
There's
Exactly.
several typos in this.
Oh, I don't doubt it, honestly. He probably typed that shit up himself.
Participant fully...
It wouldn't surprise me.
Anyone who does it
Would
in their
not
business should be
surprise me.
terrified by the lawsuits that might come upon them. I would be scared, honestly, if that happened to one of my customers.
Real quick, before we move, I'm curious, what's the most extreme thing that's happened to you guys in one of the haunted houses that you've been to?
Haunted attractions or just the paranormal?
Attractions, a haunted attraction.
So back in October, we went to the Scream Chamber in Athens, Tennessee.
Okay.
And it was that night it was a touch haunt, so they can touch you.
Oh, no.
So when me and my team came in, which is Ricky, Dwayne Smith, and Kris, they literally pulled us in and put us against a wall and slammed us all over the place, putting us in closets.
Without any like.
They put Kris inside a
warnings or
coffin,
anything.
closed it up.
They picked us up and put us on tables and.
I was looking at Ricky, was getting hit in the back of the head
chainsaws.
like this. I was like, what the fuck are you doing to my team members? You gonna kill them?
One of them picked me up by my crotch and put me on the table and literally
One
just-
picked me up and took 2 chainsaws to me and put me on the table.
That's crazy.
No.
That was definitely the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Oh yeah, that's.
I went to one haunted attraction, and it was fine. It was not a touch haunted attraction until you got to the end, and then it was like the circus from hell. and you like make it through, and then you make it into this room, and it's like a shed.
Mhm.
And there's this guy in there, and he's got like several aquarium tanks, and he's holding like a python. And it was me and my two friends, and he's like, who wants to pet Cuddles? Who wants to pet Cuddles? And I'm terrified of snakes. And he chose me, and he put her on me. And I hate snakes, but can I tell you this? It was heavy. I threw myself on the ground, and I army crawled out of there. Because I was like, no, I can't.
Don't that weigh like 300 pounds or something like that?
Something like that. All he did was he
depends.
rested her on my neck. I wasn't actually holding her.
He probably was. He was probably.
Yeah, he just like went like this so that she rested on my neck, and that was enough. I did a little.
I've had one of those on my neck before. Yeah, they are pretty heavy, but like it's.
No.
I have no
the
problem
coat's
with
coming
snakes.
off.
I have no problem with snakes, but spiders, yes.
Yeah, I feel like having live animals like that, it's so easy for them to get hurt in the haunted attractions.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Right.
With real.
I'm more concerned about the animals than I am about other people.
There's been a few haunts I went through in the past. They have like plexiglass over floors that you walk across. Some of the floors that you walk across, they have actual animals inside the plexiglass. Like Monster Mountain Haunted Attraction, which is closed now, was located in Hendersonville back in 2017. They had a floor that was plexiglass you walk across, and there was an actual python under that glass.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
cool. As long as it's safe for the animal.
Oh yeah, they take care of it. Yeah,
It's very cool, but also. Ugh.
Yeah.
Kind of like this next one. Participant fully understands and agrees that if they are selected to visit the dentist, they may have a tooth extracted without Novocaine and will not hold McKamey Manor liable.
I would cry.
I'd be like, stay away from my teeth.
Right. Just
Stay the hell
Nope,
away
teeth
from
and
my
fingernails. Can't do it.
Yeah,
Teeth
teeth,
and
fingernails,
fingernails.
or toenails.
Uh-huh.
Or hair.
Nails or, Participant fully understands and agrees that they will be participating in various medieval torture devices, such as knife throwing while strapped to a spinning wheel, shackles, chains, give a cage, stocks, the rack, etc. And then the most fucked up. Participant acknowledges that if they quit the tour, they will endure a 1 mile walk of shame back to their vehicle.
okay, it's only a mile. That's not that bad.
After you've been tortured.
Oh, okay. When you say it like that. Okay.
1 mile.
So basically, you have to crawl back to your car.
Paul, this is
That's
not me, like,
weird.
kicking you out of my car a mile down the road from your house because I
1
can't.
mile is a good walk.
It's a good walk, and you're thinking, like, okay, 1 mile, like, in best conditions.
True. I didn't think of it like that. I got you.
After you're thrown up, your hair is probably gone. Probably butt ass naked.
Oh, geez.
Covered in duct tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Russ McKamey loves his duct tape. These are just a selection of the things McKamey Manor claims no responsibility for. As I said, it's a 40-page waiver. And that's just like the stuff that I went through and like, this is fucked up. Unlike other extreme haunted attractions, I don't know why I did air quotes. Well, because this is not a haunted attraction. So unlike real ones, it did not have a safe word. But current documentation states that they use a safety phrase, but that it is the guest's responsibility to use it. However, there are numerous reports of guests who do use the safety phrase and are ignored, and that Russ will just taunt them as they're asked, saying, I want to quit.
See, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That is.
That's breaking a rule. That's basically breaking a rule.
His own contract, really.
Mm-hmm. But he can do whatever the hell he wants with it.
Exactly.
That's why.
The tour is slated to last between 8 to 10 hours. Russ openly advertises a prize of $20,000 to any participant to complete the entire 10-hour tour. However, he deducts $500 for every failed challenge or curse word said. However, it's up to his discretion what counts as a failed challenge, and many people have stated that the tour is designed to prevent participants from winning, especially the fact that Russ reserves the right to end the tour at his own discretion, with some participants saying that Russ pulled them out of the tour as they got close to completing it. There's one story of a former Marine who was going through it, and they had him in one of those ice cream freezers with water, and he started to shake, and they pulled him out, and they dried him off, and he stopped shaking. He's like, okay, I want to go on, and he was like, I want to go on, I'm fine. Like, he was responsive, his temperature was good, his vitals were good, and Russ goes, no, you're hypothermic, you're done.
That's crazy.
You did that on purpose because you knew that he was strong enough to go on.
Yeah, and actually, in the documentary, the guy who started McKamey Manor Exposed, the Facebook group, he started after he went on the tour, and Russ just ended it because he was doing everything easily. He was putting up with it, and he was actually taunting Russ back. And Russ was like, you're done, get out of here.
He doesn't have the 20 grand to pay.
Nope.
Exactly.
But he's making money off the views, though.
Some, but like... YouTube, like, they're not advertiser friendly. So I wonder
Not
if there's,
anymore.
like, some under-the-table dealings.
Possibly.
That
It could be.
and just messed up. So there's some messed up people who will
Yeah, just like,
Just
here, like, you need money
pay
to
him
do it.
to I want to see more.
I won't be surprised if
Kind of thing.
somebody invested in McKamey.
Oh,
Manor.
yeah.
Somewhere down the line, someone paid him to keep it going.
Oh, probably.
Because to be honest, if he's working at Walmart, how is he affording to do this?
Exactly.
He's working at Walmart.
Like,
Yeah, because I highly doubt that
Yeah, if
he's
you had
that
the 20
good of a
grand,
DJ.
if you had the 20
Yeah.
grand and he's giving it away like it's nothing.
Which no one's ever gotten before.
No one's So even though it's slated to last between 8 to 10 hours, the longest anyone has lasted is about 6. The shortest that anyone has lasted was 30 seconds. A woman entered the tour and was immediately tackled by 4 quote-unquote actors, and she was thrown to the floor so hard that she was knocked unconscious and was unable to be revived. Immediately. Like, she
okay, she's alive.
Oh, she's alive.
she came out of it, but like she was knocked down and to revive you, they will smack the living shit
yeah.
out of you.
Spit, anything.
Spray you down with a
somewhere,
pressure
yeah.
washer.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Russ claims that it is all an illusion for entertainment, while former associates and participants say what goes on inside goes far beyond entertainment. They say the danger in the tour is not an illusion, it is in fact really real. And now I'm going to give you the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of torture. The intentional infliction of harm in order to punish or to get something out of a victim, including entertainment. And Russ is very right. This is all for entertainment, but it's not for your entertainment, the participant. It's for his and his viewers.
Right. He's a twisted fellow.
He's very twisted.
Very twisted.
He is involved in the entire tour, like from the moment you walk in. And I actually, like, in the documentary, they said that since he's moved from California, there are no actors, it's Russ and you.
See, that doesn't sit right with me. Like,
I'd be so creeped out, especially the way he looks.
right?
Yes.
Like, no.
He's repeatedly bragged that he is a filmmaker, and everything he does in the tour is to get the best angles, the best shots, and the best screams.
That's the way to get his views
Exactly.
and his
And
money.
That AdSense.
he films every single tour and turns it into a movie after. Many of the former participants say that these movies are heavily edited and, while graphic and disgusting, hide the worst parts of the tour.
I didn't realize he did that. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can go on their website and but it's agonizing.
That's crazy.
Any person with the normal sense of empathy, and you're watching these people scream for their little lives.
It's probably a lot worse than.
There's some aspect of it that it is an illusion. I'm sure he's not actively trying to kill these people. But in the moment, your brain does not know that. So your body is reacting as if you were actually about to be murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the psychological trauma comes in.
And that's where he could be held liable for it, for anybody who could be suicidal after that,
Mhm.
or anxiety, or anything else, or
I'm sure there's been a lot of people who's had that type of issue.
Yeah.
just put me in a white room with
The straight jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just
Participants claim that Russ is gleeful during the tours and seems to get excited by the torture. He's especially gleeful and excited when men are the participants, especially former military members. It seems that...
Sounds like a fetish to me.
Right.
Yep.
I've seen those
Strongly,
videos.
Yep.
It seems like he gets off by the power dynamic, being a former military member himself. Also,
Wait, do you know if he was honorably discharged or dishonorably
I
discharged?
don't know.
Okay.
Or just kick the fuck out.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He is also especially excited about pretty vulnerable women who go to the tour.
See, that's creepy.
That makes my stomach turn. I just
Right.
All the waivers and advertisements strict say like there will be no sexual scenarios in there. However, other participants say there is some sexual aspect of it. It's just not seen. Russ even subjects his girlfriends to constant tours day to day, trying new things out until they've broken up with him.
That's wild.
the fact that he can get someone that pretty just blows my mind.
And some people have claimed that Russ uses the manor to pick up women by manipulating them into relationships. Which there was one girl in the documentary, and she was like, it was the worst experience of my life, but I came out of it and I just became obsessed. I became Russ's assistant.
What?
He just like emotionally manipulates them to the point where they just don't even know what's going on. Like,
because he's breaking these people down.
mm-hmm.
And then it's like torture. It is torture.
It's like I'll say it's just like a kink. It's just like
Exactly.
It's the overpowerment, the power. So I mean,
And I mean, one way to torture people is you break them down so that you can rebuild them into what you want or what you need.
Yeah, he's manipulating these girls. Like,
you're nothing. You can't do this. I had higher hopes of you, and then
okay,
he breaks
you sound
them
just
down.
like my mom.
Love you, Kathy. And one of the ways like this is so terrible is like there are people who are like, I can handle that. I can handle that. But Russ vigorously investigates every single contestant to specifically mold each tour to break them.
So he plays on their fears.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
yeah.
It's not just because I'm sure there are people out there like, I can get beat up. I can be thrown in a bed of water. I'm not afraid of heights. I can
Once you're in it.
deal. But then maybe like their worst fear is like something with like children. And like he could like have a recording of children screaming. He's like, it just restraining like, I'm torturing children here and you can't do anything about
That'd
it.
be terrible.
He could do something way worse to what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there was, I heard one story of you can either go alone or at most two people. And it was a couple, male, female. And he kept saying to the man, I can either do this to you or I can do it to your girlfriend. You pick. And he consistently said, do it to her.
That's crazy.
Which is a whole nother level of the torture is you're literally breaking relationship.
I was like, do it to me.
Right.
Exactly.
I won't put my girl through that.
Right.
All of these tours, like I said, they're for Russ's entertainment. They're his own personal fantasies brought to life. Russ delights in the torture. His second ex-wife, Carol, said their house was always filled with the sound of screaming as he edited and rewatched his videos at all hours of the day and night.
The fact he got 2 wives and I'm single is crazy.
That's the way he looks. He's
You're
so
not
happy.
torturing people, Paul.
Okay, maybe I should start.
Have you seen his teeth?
No.
He just looks creepy.
In person, his teeth, and the way he smiles is just like...
His vibes, like when he just like came to our booth and just talked to us, I'm like, just turn the other way, please. I do not want to shake your hand. I don't.
Right. You don't even want to be seen with him because then like people.
You should go. You know, he of course he would go probably to each booth and say, "You should go. You should come visit."
No. Hard pass.
Honestly, the fact that Fear Expo even let him in is like
right
makes me really mad.
Yeah, that is.
Oh yeah.
You said it was Trans World?
It was Fear Expo.
Fear Expo.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're kind of. I mean, he has a huge social media presence.
That's probably why.
He does.
That you know.
He's an influencer.
Either way, either
creepy influencer.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it's negative, or he's still.
And honestly, several sources described his fan base as cult-like.
I can believe it.
Okay.
I can definitely believe it.
And
a lot of sick people out there don't follow that type of stuff.
So I'm sure if he applied to get in and they turned him down, he'd get on that social media and be like in the Hulu documentary, former associates, former participants who spoke out, they're like, I was getting emails to my personal email that's not out with pictures of my house, where I work, saying, like, we're coming after your family.
From McKamey Manor.
No, from his fans. Like, Russ had nothing to do. It's Russ has created this following.
And they'll do, and his fans will do whatever it takes. Will do whatever it takes to keep him.
That is safe. That is pretty
safe.
He basically like
drinking the Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
He's not the cult leader.
Yep.
Exactly. Craziness.
I am going to describe 2 former participants' experiences that are just so beyond fucked up. The first one, she went through the tour once. She was a YouTuber, and she kind of got big after that. And after he moved to Tennessee, he was like, I want you to come for a second tour. And she went down, and he met her at her hotel to prep her. And he's like, you have to do like so many physical exercises, and you have to get this and that to do sleep deprivation.
Oh.
And as he's telling her, he began to discuss his sexual history and his likes and how he's such a dominant man and he just wants a woman to subject herself and let him do whatever to her. And she got terrified that he was going to proposition her, and she was like, what are the consequences if I say no? Like, what is he going to do to me? And what's going to happen if I say yes then?
Because he's normal military and you don't know. Yeah.
He left without propositioning her, and she went and she did the tour the next day. And during the tour, he started to whisper compliments into her ear and coming on to her like, you're doing so great. You're giving me such great footage. You look so great on camera. By the end of this second tour, she had gone without sleep for over 30 hours, and she just laid down and she passed out. After she woke up, she asked him how the footage turned out, and he said there was one thing he wanted on film, but didn't get it while she was asleep.
So he raped her, basically.
To this day, she's unsure if he assaulted her while she was asleep or not.
I think he did.
See, that would fuck you up. Like,
it would not surprise me.
And she's like, I don't know if he did. I don't know if it's another torture tactic.
Like,
and she's like, I can barely live with myself not knowing. And I'll never know.
That is so creepy, honestly. I would be traumatized for the rest of my life.
Because she wouldn't have any, either it would be physical or not, but I don't know.
I'd be afraid to sleep ever again.
Yeah. Knowing that you open your eyes and he's right there.
Ooh. Spooky.
So, another participant, her name was Laura Brotherton. She too went through a vigorous entrance procedure, including getting a tattoo, as instructed by Russ. It said McKamey Manor, and then the date she was going through with blood dripping off of it.
It could be worse. It could be a worse tattoo.
And also, like, he'll make you go through in costumes. He'll paint your face. He'll draw you in Sharpie, but you have to buy it all. He makes you buy all this shit.
Wow, that's something I didn't hear about before on that.
Yeah, like...
Hence, he's working at Walmart.
Right. He can't afford it.
That's exactly. He thinks he has the 20 grand, and there you go.
Could you pick up some Sharpies on the way over? I'm a little short.
And, well, didn't you say you had to put in a deposit, too?
100.
So maybe if you didn't get that back...
Well, if you only get it back if you show up for the tour.
That's what he's either... guessing that they're not going to show up and he keeps it.
Because I'm sure there's lots of people who like...
I bet.
That's my idea.
I'm sure there's a lot of people apply just to like get information on it. So that's probably why he does that now.
That makes sense. She
was driven to the tour by her estranged husband. Her and her husband were separated, but he was like, I just want to make sure like you're okay, so I'll drive you there. Russ arrived and was on a live stream and announced to her husband and on the live stream that Laura was conducting an affair with a married man. Laura was indeed in a relationship with another man. Her husband knew about it. Like I said, they were separated. And as far as she knew, her boyfriend was also separated from his wife. She had no idea that her boyfriend was conducting an affair with her.
Yeah, that's crazy. How did he even find that out?
He stalks these people. Like, once he picks you, nothing is safe.
It's like he has every document and every...
It's like houses. It's not like... Have you ever seen The Escape Room?
Mm-hmm.
You seen that? It's like when people, like they stalk you, they know everything about you.
Oh my god.
Papers, they have everything.
And it was probably... face it, like, we put way too much about ourselves out on social media. He probably found, like, okay, there's this one guy, they have no mutual friends, but she likes everything he posts.
Well, think about it. He was in the military and everything. So, I mean, he probably knew accesses and everything else.
In the MK Ultra
I don't know. I mean,
mind control technique, somebody was like, was he involved with something like that in the military?
Yeah.
Anyways, right then and there, Laura's husband informed her that he was going to file for divorce from her. And with that, she was taken into the tour.
That's crazy.
Wow.
She was subjected to the tour, just broken, beat up. They had her crawling left, so they gave her knee pads. At one point, they cut off one of the knee pads and actually ripped open a surgery, like an old surgery scar.
Oh, no.
And so she's now bleeding out. And what really did it was, I believe they made her dig a hole. And then they were going to bury her in it. But from digging the hole, she already had sand and dirt in her mouth and nose. And so she was unable to breathe, so they took her out. And he films everything, and he does an exit interview where you're supposed to say, oh my god, this was such a great experience. I'm so glad I went through it, blah, 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 blah. Immediately prior to filming the exit interview, Russ told her that she had to say she had a great time, she loved the experience, and that if she said anything about his revelation or how emotionally broken she was by it, he would come after her with a lawsuit that would ruin her. She went back to the hotel room and she started experiencing pain. She was covered in bruises. Her face was swollen to fuck. She had 2 black eyes. She's covered in lesions. So she took pictures of everything and she went to the hospital. But she was so afraid of Russ that, like the doctor said, how'd this happen? She said, I had an accident. And the doctors called the police, but she discharged herself before the police could get there. And she also used her safety phrase multiple times for several minutes at a time and was ignored or taunted.
See, that's not okay.
See, I wouldn't be afraid of Russ. I would be afraid of his followers then.
Because they can show up to your doorstep and
Because they could find ways and everything else. If anybody said anything bad,
you're done.
Some participants have shown up for the tour, but decided that they don't want to go through it and tried to back out. And Russ will go after them and will trick them into entering the tour.
That's crazy. You can't do shit like that.
Yeah, there's like one story of like a woman. She was like waiting to enter, and she was like, I can't do this, and she took off running. And like this was when Russ had actors, and it was another woman. She's like, where are you going? Like, we'll find you. And they literally chased her down.
Oh my god.
They literally chased her down and was like, come back, like, you know what, let's talk about this, we'll give you your deposit back, like, just come back. And they tricked her into going in.
My gosh.
See, that's
I never gave her deposit.
No, and another woman, she like escaped 3 times, and all 3 times she escaped, Russ tricked her to coming back in.
Jeez.
That's
Why would
insane.
you get... Like, I get the first time,
He
but like,
also, so the tour
the
starts
second
with...
time? The third?
The tour,
Definitely the third time.
So the tour starts with, you park in a park, and you're told to like sit on a bench, face forward, and they come and they kidnap you.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, when I say they're escaping, so I'm sure it's like, okay, you know what, we're done, the tour's done, come back, we'll drive you back to your car, and then you get strapped down, you get waterboarded. And then you escape again. Okay, no, like, we're done, that was a bad play, like,
And
come
they keep
on,
doing it.
we'll drive you back, like, come on, you're tired, are you really gonna walk a mile back to your car by yourself?
Yes.
And then you get strapped and you have a tooth pulled.
That's terrible.
I'd be like, bitch, out.
I'll walk, that's fine. See, like...
But also, he'll chase you down, and like he's already kidnapped you once. Participants and former associates have all said that Rush pushes further limits with every tour, and there's no boundary he will cross until he's arrested or someone dies.
Yo.
So every tour that he conducts gets a little more fucked up because he's trying to see how far he can go.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up in prison.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, as far as I've heard, he has no actors working for him now. It's just him torturing people one-on-one and filming it. Even his own family denounce what he does. His first ex-wife, Holly, left him and claims that he's extremely dangerous. She's also claimed that he has pedophilic tendencies and that he molested and tortured their 2 children.
What the fuck?
I believe it.
How is he not in jail? Like, someone needs to find this man and put him away.
His daughter says that he did not molest her or her brother, but that he does hate kids due to his own childhood trauma. She stated that he is a diagnosed narcissist and diagnosed bipolar syndrome.
Which is very dangerous.
Yes.
And they can turn very quickly.
Oh, yeah. My mother had bipolar syndrome, and it was terrifying sometimes because one minute she's in a perfectly fine mood, and you're not as happy as she is, and she would turn on you for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's like, I'm making cake for dessert, like, I love life, and then it's like, I'm making cake, you want cake, and it's like, I'll have a piece, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? She also stated that Russ has threatened or attempted suicide in front of her and both of his ex-wives as they attempted to leave him in order to get them to stay.
Nothing but emotional manipulation.
That's exactly what.
How's he even living with himself? Honestly, like doing all this.
When you're a narcissist, you don't care.
It's true.
Must be it.
He's also been called sociopathic. His daughter also corroborated that he did use psychological torture on her and her brother to test techniques for the manor as they were growing up. And I think both of her brother left home around the age of like 12 or 13.
Good.
Good, I should. I would get out there too.
Crazy. Honestly.
I would just, just so that nothing gets worse down the line as he grows up.
Yeah. And like Russ does, he's pretty much hated by everyone around this table and by many of the people listening to us. But he also has police problems. His second tour in Tennessee, he had the police called on him when neighbors witnessed the beginning of the kidnapping.
Well, yeah.
Really?
I think any normal person would call the police if
I know I would.
The police stormed the property. Like, it wasn't like a single cop car like coming and knocking on the door like, sir, we had reports of a disturbance.
It was an ambush.
They stormed the property.
As they should.
And they actually found the participant locked in the storm cellar.
Oh my gosh.
And Russ then produced the waiver showing that it was voluntary and consensual, and the police have no choice but to leave.
That's crazy.
They can't do anything when it's waiver. They can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, how
He used
legally
that
binding
waiver.
is this document? I'm not sure, but he has a signed document saying, yes, I give my permission to do this.
Yeah, he used that waiver.
And what's really dangerous is, after that, Russ will call the police prior to the tour to inform them so that 911 calls are played off.
He's smart. He knows what he's doing.
So if anything bad happens, they can't do anything about it.
That's why he could.
terrible.
That's
That's
why
terrible.
he was able to do that for that many years.
He does, there's no paramedic on site. He's doing all these terrible things that could injure people. No paramedic. No one with, like, even the actors that he had, he would hire convicted felons who were convicted for physical assault. One guy was a registered sex offender, and he had them working with underage girls.
So he goes after the bad people because he knows they won't do that time.
Yeah, he doesn't have, like... It's one thing if you're hiring, like...
They have no remorse, so that's
Exactly.
That's why.
And, like, I studied theater in college, so I know how to do stage combat. I know how to, like... I could, if I didn't have a gimpy wrist, I could make it look like I'm punching the hell out of Paul and not lay a hand on him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want that. He wants people who will beat the living shit out of you.
And like
If you look at some of the YouTube videos, you definitely see it. You can definitely see that he has some pretty crazy people in there working.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is they think that they would be protected by him too. They wouldn't be able to go back to jail if they were in that situation, and they'd be like, "This is awesome."
He's super creepy looking, but he does look clean cut.
That's what makes him dangerous.
Exactly. As we've talked about this entire time, there's so much controversy over what he does. To give you an idea of this waiver, it extensively gives Russ full control over a participant for up to 24 hours.
That's wild. That's such
24 hours. You can do a lot in 24 hours.
Oh my god, yeah.
But the tour's only supposed to be 10. So, like, why 24 hours?
But we've also seen, like, beforehand, it'll be like, oh, you have to go get a tattoo, you have to get a piercing, you have to shave your head. So, as you stated, Russ is not at all popular with real haunted house designers.
No.
He's not popular with members of the wider public. Former participants and associates are beginning to speak out against him. He has the cult-like social media. And actually, one of the things that were revealed, one of the reasons why he had to leave California was he owed the IRS $250,000 in back taxes.
That does not surprise me. It does not.
Right.
Yet he has $20,000 to give somebody who goes through his attraction.
But how's he run from the IRS? They're everywhere.
That's true. Like,
Just because he goes to Tennessee, the IRS is there too.
His Walmart paycheck goes straight into the IRS.
As long as they're getting their money, they don't care. They don't care if you torture people. They just want their money.
Now,
apparently.
I only heard this from the documentary. A civil rights lawyer, Alka Pradhan, stated that McKamey Manor actually does violate the law with this waiver. Because even though you're signing it, the waiver does not take into effect the withdrawal of consent. As we've noticed, you use the safety words. He doesn't do it. And even then, it doesn't end. He makes you do the walk of shame.
Just like any business, like if it were a paranormal tour, I mean, you have to abide by it.
At any moment, you can be like, I'm out. I want to leave. Yeah. She also said that a person is unable to consent to hypothetical long-term injuries or situations in which I already said that part. But hypothetical long-term injuries, or you cannot consent to traumatic experiences which could lead to long-term mental or emotional health effects.
Right. They don't fully realize what they're signing up for when they're signing up, I feel like.
Exactly. So if I go bungee jumping and something goes wrong, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can consent to that. I don't know what Russ is going to do to me in this. So how can I consent to that?
Exactly.
So it was her suggestion that participants who want to seek legal recourse can fight it on that. Mm-hmm. However, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. In October of this past year, 2023, the Tennessee Attorney General opened a criminal investigation over concerns over McKamey Manor's business practice and whether they violate consumer protection laws. Namely, concerns over withdrawn consent, lack of access to the waiver because you're only given it in the moment, and inability for contestants to win the purported prize money.
And I guess they're shut down now, yeah?
Yep, they're shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
It's done.
Thank God. And I think we actually might be the first paranormal podcast to report on it since it's been shut down.
Woo! Awesome. Breaking. We get the breaking.
Actually, there was a guy on the Haunt Seeker fan page that sent me a petition to sign, and they was going to throw a party. They was going to do like a convention and set up tables about it and stuff. It's like, invite everybody out here, bring Haunt Seekers. I'm like, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I
would have invitation to that party.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds cool.
At this point, we normally do a smasher pass. This is too sick and twisted to do a smasher pass. So what we're going to do instead, I'm going to do smash or stab Russ McKamey. And when I say smash, I mean with a bulldozer.
Oh. Or a big building.
Or that.
Exactly.
Or a wrecking ball. Let's do a wrecking ball.
I'm all for smashing McKamey there with a wrecking ball.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'll do that.
To the ground.
Unanimous smash.
A big ass.
Absolutely.
Wrecking ball.
Very
Oh my God. This one fucked me up.
It's a crazy story. Like, the fact there's people that would do that. Like, the fact there's people who are just willing to participate is honestly kind of crazy. Like, I get going to haunted attractions, but, like, that type of attraction, it's not a haunted attraction.
It's not, it's not a haunted house. It's not an attraction. It is nothing. It's a torture
And even
chamber.
where you go to extreme ones where they can touch you or hit you, as soon as you yell the safe word,
it all stops.
It stops.
Exactly.
Are you okay? Let's get you some water. Let's get you out of here.
Well, they all, and of course, in haunted houses now, with, of course, younger kids and stuff like that, they give out glowing necklaces too. So they can do that.
It's called kryptonite.
Yeah.
Kryptonite necklaces.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't come near me.
Or they have wristbands where there is a partial touching. You get the wristband or stamp or anything else, but there's also a side where they won't touch you. So
I like that.
It's balanced.
Because when I went to that haunted house with the boa constrictor, my friend's super into it and I'm not as into it. And so it'd be great, like, for her to have like the hands-on experience and for me to like have the baby tour.
Right. No, that is cool. Now, what's the future like, do you guys think, for like your haunted houses, your career, like the future for haunted attractions in general? What do you guys think?
Well, for our future, we have a lot of going on with the paranormal. Our biggest thing is the recent paranormal investigation. We just met Chad, which is been on the team for about 2 years now. We are in talks about doing a shop over there for the t-shirts.
Nice.
And he is wanting to do the podcast.
Nice.
We already have people booked on there from different haunted locations that's hit us up, but we just didn't have time to do it last year because of all the traveling and everything.
Right.
But our biggest project is definitely the haunted attraction, which is going to take us about 2 years to get it fully complete.
It's 52.4 acres.
It's a lot of acreage.
That is.
We won't use all of it, but we're gonna, start off slowly and.
But, however, even though the haunted attraction is going to be 2 years from now, we are still going to bring back the paranormal tours, which is going to be the guided flashlight tours with the equipment and everything. It's easy to set up. I mean, it's
Right.
what I used to do before I moved to Texas and then to Missouri to PA.
That's so cool. I love paranormal tours like that. Oh,
Well, invite you guys up there. We'll give you a
Yeah, we'd
experience.
love to come along.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Another collab.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys ever make long drives?
Yeah.
Long drives, yeah.
So when we go back to the one in Ohio, you guys should join us.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, yeah, very cool, very cool. So you're going to focus more on the paranormal side of things this year.
Just throughout the year, but when it gets back to September to October, it's full-blown haunted attraction.
We'll be building,
reviews.
so like I said, we're doing, step by step. We're not going to kill ourselves over it. So
Yeah.
we're trying our best to make it as great as possible. I know as fast as we can to get it done, but, money situation,
It's not going to happen with
Yeah.
the amount of acres we have up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had, in the past, I've had 17 acres. And I've done a haunted in Sherman Mountain Distillery where I was doing the paranormal tours. It was about 7 acres altogether.
Okay.
So I had the office, I had the stage, I had the actual trail that you could walk on. And that by itself took about 3 years to build up. So it's a work in progress. It's definitely a work in progress.
Nice.
When it's up and running, we'll be glad to come through it.
Yeah.
Paul will
definitely.
go
We
for
love
the
it.
full tour. I'll go for the baby tour.
Right.
We'll give you a full tour.
Oh, darn it.
Mhm. You're not getting away from that.
Now, I know you guys do paranormal investigations. Do you have anywhere you post like any evidence you capture, or where do you? Is there
So right now it's the I think you guys are on. It's the Haunt Seekers fan page on Facebook.
Okay.
That's the main place we post right now.
Awesome.
We're actually in the process of getting a new website built because I let the old website go because I'm tired of dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look for something that's a little bit easier on us. So it should be back up in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Awesome.
The latest.
So if the people want to follow you, it's the Haunt Seekers fan page.
Well, there's that. There's the Haunt Seekers United Nation LLC Facebook page, which is the main page.
And they can follow us as well.
We got
contacts.
Instagram, and then we have our TikTok.
Okay.
Shout it out so that our followers can follow you.
Yeah. If you have any other socials or anything else you want to promote.
So you guys can follow us at Haunt Seekers United Nation LLC Facebook page, and it's easy to look up. Just look up Haunt Seekers. It's going to pop right up. Haunt Seekers on TikTok, Haunt Seekers on Twitter, and that's about it. If you can't find it, just look up Haunt Seekers on Google, and it'll pop right up.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Get your dose of creepy content.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking about McKamey
absolutely.
Manor with us.
We enjoyed it. This was a great topic.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely the topic to get off our chest. To just.
I handpicked this for you too.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
You guys had great insight. It was so cool hearing you guys talk about
Get our
it.
bashing,
Yeah.
Industry
get our bashing
insiders.
going on.
Right.
Anything for the greater good.
Any final thoughts?
Any thoughts, Chris?
No,
Awesome.
not really.
Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us.
You
And
want to take it away with our socials?
yes, well, first, oh no, by the time this comes out, we will already have done our.
First live episode.
And it was great. This is past DJ saying that it was absolutely great and phenomenal, and so many people were on it. And it was just great. But yeah, please follow us on social media. You can find us Crypts and Corks on Facebook, at Crypts and Corks Pod on Instagram and TikTok, or on TikTok we are at Crypts and Corks. If you have personal stories or episode suggestions, please email us at cryptsandcorks@gmail.com. You can follow me on my Instagram at DJ Chessie Powers or my TikTok at The Real Deej Powers. Paul, where can the listeners find Jesus?
Yeah, where can the listeners find me?
Yes.
They can find me on Instagram at Paul Ember, PaulEmbr, and also on my personal TikTok at Paul Ember, PaulEmbr.
Well, listeners, as always, remember to keep your crypts tight
And your corks loose.
Bye.
Good time.
You did the laugh again.